So today on Spilling Ink is butts and bananas.
Yes. So.
And cattle prods.
Yes. So.
Welcome.
And coffee mugs.
We did promise a mischievous show.
Yeah.
The inmates have taken over the asylum, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm already like crying. We've been laughing so much already.
We're 30 seconds in.
It's gonna be a good show.
All right.
Don't wait. Smash the like button now.
Please.
Click subscribe.
If you're all good, JD will tell you how he handles his banana.
I would like to know how JD
bring
handles
that
banana.
I can have like those artistic baby pictures, like with the banana.
Wait. Let's see this again.
You need to put like a little
He's
bow
saying
on
his
it.
banana's as big as a baby.
Welcome.
Wait. Who signed your banana?
This is actually okay. This was a gift from Andy Mango. AO.
He signed it?
He signed it.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta see this big again.
No fucking way he signed it.
Oh my god.
Double bananas. He signed it and keep sharing. Love the videos.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've used this prop so often that it's already starting to fade. So I don't know if I should just paint over it or something.
I only found a real banana and took a picture for him.
Are you saying you've handled your banana a little too roughly?
Is Andy a little smudged?
No, he didn't say roughly, just too often.
Too often.
Moving down the edges.
He's wearing it down.
Poor Andy's signature is all smudged now.
This is so messed up.
I think
if you didn't want to talk about your banana, maybe you shouldn't have whipped it out on live TV.
This is gonna be the banana show. We're screwed.
On that note,
we're screwed.
How could it not be?
I want to press a button.
Oh no, she's gone mad with power.
Yes. On that note, before we get into the show, here's a message from our sponsor.
Hello, everybody. I am Joe Compton, and welcome to our channel, Go Indie Now. This is the place that celebrates indie artists and indie art, and we do so by producing several shows that either air on daily, weekly, monthly, or seasonal scheduling. And within those shows, we aim to educate and entertain you. If you're an indie artist who's trying to figure out how to do this, this is the place you need to be. If you're an indie artist who's looking to promote and doesn't have any avenues and is tired of the grind, this is the place to be. Because remember, it's always time to go indie now.
Well done, Jane. Good job.
I figured out how to push the button. I'm going to be dangerous now.
Oh, no.
I need a cigarette after that one.
Yes.
She's good at pushing all the buttons.
Yeah.
Buttons and bananas. I like this.
Well, we were going to talk about evolving, but I guess this show's kind of devolved.
I thought it was a devolving, not evolving.
Yeah, it's not evolving.
I always tell people don't grow up.
Authors were evolving.
Yeah,
the show was already at the pinnacle, so when you brought us on, it could only devolve from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's face it, when you evolve as an author, you kind of become a little bit silly.
A little bit?
like way out here. Like a lot.
The more you write, the more you lose your grasp of reality.
So I'm not really sure how far others go with their journey. I mean, I was already dancing naked in the rain before I became an author. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but it's good, clean, silly fun.
See, okay,
Right,
so
right.
that's fine.
It's only a problem when you're doing it on the strip of Vegas. Then the cops come and tell you need to go back to your room.
Well, and if you're
Depends
dancing
on
in the
what time
rain
you
in
do it
Vegas,
at.
Also, it wasn't so much raining as it was the misters they have near the sidewalk to keep
Or the
people
fountains.
cool.
Yeah.
But it was close enough. No, they've got guards around the fountains.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't stop people.
No,
I've
it
been to
doesn't.
Vegas a few times.
Okay. I have. I've been twice for conferences. I had to think about that. So, like, was it Florida or was it Vegas?
Did you make it off the strip at all?
No, I did not. And they told us.
Yes, but I was
they
drunk.
told us-
Except for that trip to the bunny ranch.
No, the thing
That's pretty
is,
far off the strip.
Yeah,
they
that's
told
like an
us.
hour and a half away. Not
Yeah.
that I know.
Well, because prostitution is not legal in Clark County, but it is in Nye County.
Yep. Well, they told us if the reps of our company come up to us and want to go to a ranch, we tell them no. and I'm like, well, and I'm sitting here. I was naive and young. I was like, why wouldn't they want to go to a ranch?
The chicken ranch. Oh.
And then they explained it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Although, you know what? I think it would be fun just to see, just to look around. I would be curious. I would be.
Any type of ranch is going to see horny goats.
So when y'all do come to Vegas again, we'll go on a fact-finding mission.
Okay, for writing.
Yes, research.
Write it off.
For research.
Research on whatever.
One of my pen names.
We just need some hands-on experience in order to work it out properly.
One of my stories was written as a mock of the chicken ranch out in Pahrump.
I want to see Jonesy's Yelp review of the bunny ranch.
Yelp is right.
I was going to say that's probably the easiest $100 they've ever made, but probably not.
Probably not.
All right, so
we're that cheap.
How did we jump off the show with porn already?
We didn't.
No,
we didn't.
I mean,
well, we started with bananas, then buttons.
Like, aren't we supposed to ease into that?
We started with bananas, and then we got naked and wet.
Yeah.
And then we went down the gutter to the ranch.
And then ended up in the bunny ranch. That's
Yeah,
natural evolution.
And then
water ranch. Yeah.
And then going at it like bunnies, I guess. I'm not really sure.
All right. Yeah, y'all, you're the boss, so I blame you guys.
Because I mean, the bunny ranch isn't even my favorite.
Rebekah prefers the lizard ranch over the bunny ranch.
There's dead silence now.
She's thinking.
I'm trying to remember the name of the ranch. I cannot for the life of me at the moment.
Google it.
So it couldn't be that great.
The chicken ranch.
It's the not so bunny ranch.
You guys know how bad I am at names. I mean, half the freaking time I forget mine.
The triple B's. Bananas, buttons, and bunnies.
Yeah.
And if it's good service, you do a lot of wild.
I miss you guys. We were off last week. It just felt wrong.
Well, we just made up for it in the first 9 minutes.
I was actually ready for the show last week, and my in-laws were here out at the fire with Darren, and I'm like, I went out there, I'm like, there's no show. There was no fire yet.
You sent me a message, and you're like, when is the show? Are we having a show? And I was like, no, we don't have a show.
And I'm like, okay, yes, I can go back to the fire at the beginning of it. Fire.
What's in terms of dumbest shit that I've ever done when I've been at a job that I've been so overworked that I do stupid stuff. First off, I have put my ATM number in the microwave, and luckily I realized it and took it off. But that's not the dumbest one. The dumbest one is showering, shaving, like groomed, well, ready for the day. Let's take it. Let's seize it. When I get there, the gate's closed, and I'm like, why is the it's Sunday. It wasn't even Saturday. It was Sunday. I had a full day. And it's not like I had a meeting. I imagined the meeting, because if I would have had a meeting on Monday, it's like, yeah, I get that. I just got to get to work. Do you all have any stories?
I've worn my shirt inside out for a whole day.
Oh, who hasn't done that?
Yeah, that's kind of normal, Joe.
I did that with my
normal,
breath yesterday.
That's the worst thing you could probably call me is normal.
I regularly unlock or try to unlock my front door with my car clicker.
Okay.
Regularly too. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm walking up to it, clicking, going, "Why aren't you? Oh, damn it!"
I've gone all the way to work without my computer, and got there and without my computer bag, which is a swipe badge to get into the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, and then turn around and just go home.
That's right.
I'm like, nope, I'm working here today. And it was a 45-minute drive.
Or the more recent thing and more is I've had my mask worn on my chin, and I've been looking for it the entire time, like, because I need to be somewhere where there's a mask and put on my mask. I'm going, where's my mask? Where's my mask? Where the fuck is my mask? And it's been on my chin the entire time.
Yeah. Yep, glasses on the top of my head. Yep.
Okay, but I've gone like, where are my glasses? It's like you're wearing them. It's not like you have them here. You're looking through your glasses. You don't have to find them.
Or you're talking on the phone, looking for your phone. Yeah, that is me. That is like, where the hell is my phone? And the person on the other line is laughing at me. And I'm like, why are you laughing? Because you're talking to me on your phone. Oh, yes. It's in my head.
Now, is this the result, though, of overworked minds, or is this just us going crazy?
No, overworked minds. My
husband does it too, and he's not a writer.
No.
Okay.
Rebekah dropped.
She'll be back.
Did we make her run?
With a vengeance. She'll be back with a vengeance.
Oh, well, last week, this past week, I was on Josh's show, and I set up on my desk for a specific reason, to make sure that the plug was in my computer. Guess what I forgot?
The computer?
Yep. And my computer shut down halfway through the show.
Oh,
and then I got back out and said, see, I'm old. But it was like, no, where'd it go?
Now, were you talking to Josh this whole time? Were you thinking Josh is there?
No, because my computer shut down. Because it went out of power. Black screen. I'm like, where did everybody go?
I've done that where I think I'm on screen and I dropped out before, and I didn't realize I dropped out because sometimes it doesn't freeze you.
Right.
But everybody else, and you keep talking, and then somebody in the chat goes, does Joe know he's frozen?
Right, yeah.
And it never freezes on a good face. It always freezes on something really bad.
Yeah.
There's a show I watch on YouTube where they've had a gal who's on there all the time. She freezes every single time she's on there. So there's now a running joke where they just put that picture of the worst one she's ever frozen in, and they just have her there the whole time. It's like this inside joke that people don't get if you've never seen the show before.
It's like, what's wrong with that?
Rebekah.
Do they know? Hey, it never fails. Somebody in the chat who's new to the show will go, "Hey, somebody there's frozen. Do you guys know that?" And they always have to explain it.
Yep.
All right. Well, speaking of mishaps, let's reel it back into writing. What is the worst writing mishap you've had so far?
Define mishap.
losing part of your manuscript, forgetting to save, forgetting to back up, forgetting where your backups are, deleting scenes accidentally.
I've said mine before. I can say it again, and I really hope I never top that. My first novel, Only Human, I had it in a jump drive. I had it in a jump drive because I had to be covert and sneaky while I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Writing it at work, were you?
Nah. So I was writing from the jump drive, and suddenly one day the jump drive stops working, and it got fried, and I was like, I lost it. And the last time I had done a backup was about 6 months prior, and it was very, very productive 6 months. So basically, a very good friend, her current husband, they weren't going out at that time. He's like, I can give it a shot. So basically, he had to break it open, splice it, put like jumper cables on it, get the data out, and then he gave me a jump drive with the new data.
Oh,
Wow.
And just that process took him 2 days after work, going and working on. So try to imagine him like doing surgery. He was like, dude, you have no idea how lucky you are. And I'm like, how many beers do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And I treated him to a beer. I mention it often. Gracias, Juan. If by any chance he sees this or his wife sees this, gracias, Juan. I owe you. I still owe you. Love you. Great guy. I always tell people use backups, backup regularly. Email
backups too.
Email your files.
Yep.
Be psycho rather than complacent.
Yes. I've had my computer die up here. And I was like, what did you do? I walked out, my computer was black screen, I couldn't get into it. I turned to my kids, I'm like, what did you do? They're like, we didn't touch it.
Always blame the kids.
Yes, we do. and it took 2 weeks to get all my stuff because I hadn't backed up stuff from that computer. And I had all my pretty covers and all my stories and everything. So it took 2 weeks for them to get that back. And quite a bit of money. But I was fine.
You got your stuff back.
Yep. And I went and got a new computer. That's why I have two hard external drives.
Yep.
And OneDrive.
Yep.
I have redundant backup.
I do the emailing myself thing too, so it's stored on Gmail.
Yep.
My first manuscript I ever wrote, I was about 14 when I wrote it. I tried to back it up. I saved it on those floppy disks. You remember what those look like?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And we moved from Texas to Vegas. And they were in the boxes and did not make it in one piece. So my first story never saw the light of day because it was gone. And there was no way I was going to rewrite the whole thing after that.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made the mistake when I was, first married to put all my, I had notebooks of poetry and short stories, and I put it on our computer. My husband goes, "Oh, I need to fix this. It's got something on it." He says, "I'm just going to, restore it. We won't lose anything." And I'm like, "Yeah. Everything," and I'd thrown away the paper because I didn't. Yep, years of poetry, years of stuff, and it was just like that is why I am kind of militant about backing up.
My diaphragm almost threw up inside of me just from hearing.
I have maybe a dozen poems from the that were graded that I had left over, and I was like devastated.
I keep all my notebooks, if only as evidence so that people see how bad my handwriting is.
Oh God, the notebooks! I found some of mine when we moved to this apartment. I was like, oh my God, I can't throw them out, but oh my God, nobody ever needs to read these.
I kind of have a serious horror story about that and why I no longer use notebooks.
Currently writing.
Yes.
There are two kinds of people in this world. those who back up, and those who will.
Yes, exactly.
All right, go ahead, Rebekah.
So, I started writing in notebooks like most of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had I don't even know. I had a stack like this that I kept in my closet. It was different stories, different story ideas, and exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I got convinced that it would be faster and easier to do it on the computer. This was back when I was still living with my parents or back living with my parents. I'm not sure which one it was, but they got rid of the computer without saying anything.
Whoa.
Like, the computer's gone, and of course everything's saved on the computer. And I'm like what the hell?
Yep.
I was like, okay, whatever. I still have my notebooks because I was working from the notebook, fleshing things out and writing it on the computer.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, but you still got your notebooks, right? I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay then, whatever. So I went on a weekend trip. And I should have known better because it happened like every time I took a weekend trip when I lived with my parents. And I came back and my room is completely different. I'm like, oh shit, she did it again. My mother.
She cleaned.
I went to the closet and the closet is empty. Like, my clothes aren't there, folks. There's some household stuff in there, but my clothes are gone. And so is everything else I own, like my shoes. My mom was like, isn't it pretty? I did such a good job. And I was like, why do you keep doing this? What is your issue? And she's like, well, I mean, it looks good now. Look, all your stuff's here. And she's showing me, like, it doesn't make any sense either. Like, some of my clothes are under the bed. Long story short, she took my entire stack of notebooks, decided they were old, and burned them.
Now that's vindictive. Like, throwing them away is one thing, but burning them?
There were so many things. She had to, get rid of them fast. It was my notebooks, my pictures, awards from school. She took all of that stuff and accidentally burned it all.
Oh.
So when I left, I had nothing. I honestly quit writing for 10 years?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what's the friggin' point?
Oof.
Yeah.
But it was also a very clear sign that I needed to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
She also trashed, she trashed some of my clothes that she decided wasn't good enough and basically wasn't to her taste. So
yeah, get the hell out of there.
Let's not pretend they were not good stories. They were,
but they were part of your growth process.
Right. It was like all the poetry and the short stories, and it was a honest mistake on his part, thinking that it really wouldn't lose anything. We were new at computers. we were young and stupid.
I had that fight so many times with my ex-husband because his answer to everything was, I'll just reformat it and start again. I'm like, stop it! All my shit's on the computer. You will not reformat the computer. You will find a better way to fix it.
Well, after that, then I got my own computer because I'm like, you don't touch it.
Yep.
And he knows. He felt so bad. I had many, many, many years of favors because he felt so bad. And every time I bring it up, he's just like,
My friends came over last week and her oldest son came into my office space, which is my bedroom. Mm-hmm. And he sat down at my computer desk and he started tapping on the keys. And I walked up behind him and I went, I have killed a man for less. He immediately got up and moved, and his mom was cracking up. Like, you don't touch the computer.
Yeah. No. Not until I back up. As soon as I back up, you can touch it.
No, even then, no, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Like this whole like kids at home thing for school this last year. My kids have their own like hand-me-down laptops. They are not the greatest laptops in the world, but we managed to scrounge laptops and fix laptops to get them working throughout the whole school year. And Zoe's actually needed to be replaced at one point in the middle of the school year. I don't know how we managed to find an extra one, but they are very much hand-me-downs, but they use their computers. Nobody touches my computer. This is what keeps a roof over our head, guys.
Fortunately, Mom never touched my stuff. And I found a short story that I had lost. And I'm gonna include it in a short story collection that I'm doing. I wrote that in 10th grade. Then I did a small edit and I put it in a competition in college and it won 3rd place. And if you think I'm snarky now, oh man, I was so obnoxious in college because I came out of a Kevin Smith film because I got 3rd place and I'm like, I'm gonna give an acceptance speech. and it was basically like a 2-minute stand-up routine of me being a jackass. It's like I'd like to thank the Academy and stuff, and people and all my friends were cracking up.
I would like to thank everybody but me, myself, and I are really responsible for this.
Thank all you little people I stepped on to get to where I am today.
All right, my most egregious offense is I had somebody. I had written a story where I killed some people in it, and I had forgotten that I killed them in this story, and they recognized it because I was describing their mannerisms or something that they do. And I had forgotten that I had actually killed that person in the story, and I gave it to them to read. And they go, "Is this person me?" And I go, "Yeah."
Honor. That's an honor.
No, it's not you. It's not you. No. Why would you think that?
Oh my.
But it really was them.
What's funny is a lot of authors post that up, who wants to be killed in my next story. It actually has become a thing that authors kind of, they do as a nice thing for their readers.
Readers writing me asking to be killed in my next story. But I mean,
make it a good death.
Lot of regular people. Yes, they're like make it nice and drawn out. So I have one slowly have her life drained away from her.
Nice.
Like she's just sitting there in the ocean and her life is pulled out of her.
Well, my father saved my first book that I illustrated and wrote. I think I was like maybe 8 or 9. So it was about dogs and wolves and this family of wolves and puppies. And at the end, it was very true to a J.E. Taylor thing because they all died. And then they all died. That's what I said.
And then they all died. Yep.
And my dad gave me that after I first published. He says, because he kept it all these years.
Oh my God.
He said, "Here," and it was laminated. He laminated the thing. And it was just like, he says, "You're still the same." And they all died.
Some people have to get to like their second or third book to get that voice. Nah, I was 9 when I killed everyone. I can imagine Jane having like a Capri Sun and just killing all the dogs and wolves. Like, screw them.
Like, and then they all died. Yes.
Jane, that was the only argument I think we had in our series that we wrote together.
Yes.
I was like, "You will not kill the dog."
I'm like, okay.
Everything else is okay and valid. The dog is off limits.
Right.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I will not be associated with a book that kills a dog.
I have. Unfortunately. But yeah, no. Not just in
Shit,
that
I
eighth
now have a
grade.
book where I killed the dog too. Like that's one thing I almost never do. But in my
Yeah.
next book that comes out this fall, I killed.
Wait,
No.
which
But
book
in
is
my
this?
defense, I'm writing with Jay, so that 2 is down
Oh!
from 5.
Oh,
So as far as I'm
Yep.
concerned, I saved 3 dogs.
do you remember my notes?
You remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course I remember your notes. I still cry over them. Thank you.
Her note. I don't know if I said anything about the dogs, but
Every time I was like, "Stop giving this person a dog!"
yeah, it doesn't work.
I'm gonna use that as no dogs die in my.
Yeah.
It could be the most evil, vile Cujo motherfucker, and it's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gonna die.
There you go.
Not the
Yeah, I'm
dog.
totally fine with killing people, but like in one of my books, I killed a god. It's still like it haunts me to this day. I had to get drunk to write this thing, but the insane serial killer killed a family of chipmunks, and it was awful. It was awful. I could not write it.
Yeah, my Georgia Rain has the dog. Well, actually, no. Yeah, Georgia Rain, and I'm like, I didn't. Well, yeah, okay. Georgia Rain, and then the last of the Ryan Chronicles book.
That last book.
That one was heartbreaking. What, Katie?
Yeah, we'll discuss that later.
What you know what I'm talking about? The Ryan Chronicles?
Yes.
One? Yes.
I think I yelled at you too for that one.
Yep.
The notes I was sending Rebecca, at one point I remember I was reading the story and the character got another dog and I went, why are you giving? You better not do it. You better not do it.
No. It went on for like 3 pages of yelling at no, take that dog back.
And then I just started responding in memes after that.
Yes.
You know you're in trouble when Katie responds in memes.
Yes.
Had no more words. That's it. No.
So what is off limits?
Well, I mean, the problem is, problem
good
with the story is it was based off of true.
Oh, she went again.
So
yeah, it was based off of true events that became fictionalized. Yeah. I know, which means that you had to keep some of the dog deaths, but god damn it.
Yeah.
Just rip my heart out, okay? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I honestly don't think I've reached my limit.
At the same time, my heart goes out to that like real life person who literally, I mean, she lost 6 dogs to those supernatural experiences.
At some point, the universe is telling you, stop getting a dog.
Yeah, stop. But it was her emotional support dog. Come on.
No, but in terms of what's off limits, I don't like that. It's just I'm not going to write something for shock factor when I'm really uncomfortable with it. Some people go like, I got to do this because blah, blah, blah. It's like, if that's your jam or you're comfortable with that, fine. I can't write that because with movies, you have to see this movie. It's like, okay, does any animal die? It's like, I can't tell you that. And I'm like, that means an animal dies. So if an animal dies, I'm not going to watch it. It's like, well, this happens. And I'm like, I'm not going to watch it because it was March of the Penguins. And you can ask my wife. And I was weeping in that goddamn documentary, like weeping. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And plus I have Morgan Freeman just tugging on my heart. Just, you're going to cry, you fuck. And between that and it's like, the Penguins, yes. They stay together for life, and then they lose one of their child. I'm like, I get that. And as a kid, there's a movie called The Bear. The Bear is a beautiful movie that I will never ever watch again because I still remember how hard I cried when I was like 9. And it's not because they killed the bear. A bunch of hunters are trying to hunt the bears. They shoot the big bear. And then the big bear scares the hunters off, and then the baby bear is licking the big bear's wound, and that scene still screws me up. And I'm like, I can't write that, or I can't explore that just because it's too much.
So you didn't watch Old Yeller?
Didn't watch
No.
it. Didn't. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know what happens, and I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
Let's face it. I think Old Yeller like scarred us all,
Yes.
and that's probably why we're like this.
No.
And then right
Bambi
afterwards
probably.
was the never-ending
Bambi's.
story.
Oh,
Oh yeah, and
Never Ending
Bambi.
Story,
I mean,
Secret and Nim, all of the movies that were out when we were young.
Yes.
They really just went for the heartstrings. They wanted to make kids cry.
Yes.
and because with our tags, I saw someone that they had like a chia pet or like of that scene, and it is so cruel of a gift that it's like you want to ruin someone's day with a gift, with a birthday gift. Here you go, and it's like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And the funny thing is that if you read the book, that scene isn't bad. The scene with Artax in the book isn't bad, and Artax is actually chill with it, and Artax actually speaks in the book, if I'm not mistaken. And Artax was already dead inside, versus the movie where it's like this beautiful horse and blah blah blah. It's like, we're not just gonna kill it, we're gonna do it slowly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So 36 minutes, and we haven't spoken about how we have evolved as writers. I think this is par for
This
the
is a typical.
I'm still on the devolved. I don't think we have evolved. We have devolved. We have slowly gone insane.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you.
Actually, I'm sorry, Joe. Actually, I have evolved a bit in the fact that I'm not slaughtering.
Everybody.
for thrills off of killing fewer people.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly.
Almost
So I've evolved
everybody
in
dies.
that way, because I'm
that's
like,
Jane's evolution.
yeah.
Almost everybody dies.
Yes.
Yeah, when she sends me a message and goes, I don't know that I can kill these people. How do we save them? It's like, whoa, who are you? Did somebody hijack your email?
Yeah.
Because I've read her books. She just brings them back to life and then kills them again. What the fuck, Jane?
I'm sorry.
You know, I would love to see.
They're all gonna be able to like work together. Oh, she killed them. She just lost her freaking house in the middle of the living room.
I would love to see J.E. Taylor and A.F. Stewart write a book together.
Oh.
Can we up the body count on that?
Oh my goodness. They'd be like,
Anita.
And they should call it Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I want to see the kill count.
Your god of your
count.
death and her god of death need to get together. This is a fact.
Anita's all for it.
Yeah, I could.
There's your
Those
next
two are going to
collab.
get along like. Oh man.
They're going to fight over
like death and
who
crime.
gets to kill who. That's what this is
Well,
going to happen.
On tap, I have a zombie apocalypse novel.
It's no fair if they start dead.
What?
It's no fair if they start dead.
Well, there are some live people, but they don't.
Yeah, you kill the main.
For your shared book, Jane has to kill Anita in the foreword, and Anita has to kill Jane in the afterword.
Oh my
There you
goodness!
go.
Yes.
Yes, nice.
Coming summer 2022.
So last night we created the prod and the banana. Now today we created let the bodies hit the floor. So we're evolving. We're evolving as shows.
Yes.
It's a productive week, Joe. It's a very productive week.
Yes.
All right. What growth have you guys done? JD, we'll start with you. And your banana doesn't count.
That grows naturally.
Even the hard one that's been rubbed smooth already.
It's right.
Especially the one with Andy's name on it.
It's just gonna get worse.
Yep.
Um,
Bring Rebekah here. Come on. She hasn't even gotten warmed up yet.
Because there's a storm and it's screwing up with her signal. That's probably why.
Yes.
It's true. I'm pretty sure the storm is actually censoring me at this point. I've said plenty of warmed up things already.
I think that in terms of evolution, it's just me finally tackling other projects. You might think that you're supposed to evolve as a writer and get better as a writer, but I honestly don't know how much better I am now than I was when I started back a couple of years ago. Case in point, how many reviews do I have for Only Human? I don't know, 30 something or whatever. How many reviews do I have for the sequel? Like 8 or 9. And it's like, and I read them this year or last year, and I'm like, damn, I got better as a writer. But you can think whatever you want to think, and you think, I've evolved or whatnot. But if people don't give a shit, or if people don't respond, and what I've noticed is that people try one thing, and since I have like a random ass buffet of books, they go like, okay, so now let's try nonfiction, and they go like, I like you in nonfiction better than in fiction, or I like you more in poetry, and I'm like, okay, I'll take whatever I can get. But the thing is that in terms of evolution, I'm just more comfortable, and I just challenge myself in different ways. And being able to have that long ass, I believe I ordered the large cappuccino. Hello. Hello.
It's like Campbell's cup of chino.
We saw that a couple of weeks back. To be able to, I have that laundry list of projects, and to be able to cross one out, my evolution is the peace of mind of knowing that what I jotted down in a notebook 9 years ago finally got done, and I can hold it in my hand. It's in my hand. It's done. And also, some projects by nature take a long ass time. For some reason, I'm weird that way. And then there's other projects that I just bang it out, and I don't know how it happens, and I don't care. I'm just thankful for the writing gods that were like, you know what, we will be with you for this project. The other ones, not so much, but this one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Compton, you're next.
I just saw Rebekah chuckling and
I'm
holding
still
her breath
giggling
when
at
you said
bang
bang
it
it out. Well, I'm writing a fantasy series, everybody. Something I thought I would never ever fucking do in my life. I mean, I am the guy that has always been like, oh, fantasy series suck, and I really don't like fantasy. And here I am being a hypocrite and writing. I've written 1,237 words already. And I have a concept, as JD knows and Rebekah knows, for 6 books. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the plunge and do it. And I worked out a lot of the kinks with it. And thanks to people who've been doing a lot of, working through it with me and asking a bunch of questions that I think I have had the answers to, but not some of them. So it's been really great. And I don't know why I didn't tackle it before, but it's fun writing those kind of things. So I'm enjoying it, which is rare for me too. So I really, I'm real excited about it. So that's how I've evolved. So.
Well, so we're there for you. I will definitely help you beat out those kinks until you get the right words out.
Damn it!
Beat out the kinks so that he can bang one out. Okay.
Yeah, so that's
kind of tame, though. We expect a little bit more. Come on, Rebekah, amp it up a little.
She did the Vidal. Yeah, watch out.
Well, that's only because you guys didn't apparently catch on to what the second half of that meant. The proper word.
Now we're gonna have to read transcripts of these live.
In our best sultry voices too.
Ooh.
Yes, we'll read them out loud.
The silky voices, and I can do an accent, and people.
Oh yeah,
that's it. The accent wins every time. It doesn't matter what accent you've got. Accents win every time.
On one occasion, I spent a summer in New York, and on one occasion, because I saw some guys that were like ordinary, and they were like, women fawning over them, and I was a sprite 23-year-old. I was like, what's going on? And then one day I faked a Latino accent, and I was like, this is too much power, and this is not correct. Yep. You are finding me interesting for all the wrong reasons. And I saw Police Academy, and I know the power that can wield, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, when I used to call out to the police stations from the news desk, I donned a Southern accent. Got answers like that. When I didn't, it wasn't so much.
That's funny.
It was like, I got more information with the Southern accent from, New England.
I love the Latino accent, but I gotta say the English accent just drives me up the wall. I'm just like, oh,
is anyone else concerned about why Jane's calling the police department?
With a Southern accent.
Desk. I was on the news desk, Rebecca. I had to call for information. What stories were out there? What things were going on?
Now you have to
for your writing.
Huh?
Who's died today?
No.
Hi, Sugar Dumpling. Let me ask you.
Y'all, can you describe to me, please,
I think that's probably the wrong Southern accent.
The two-wheeler that fell over the bridge, and
how many
body parts were hanging out of it?
Do you have anything good for us to go to?
Oh no, not redneck.
Is this Virgil? Yeah, I have to ask you something.
It reeks of meth.
Yes.
See, that's why when I'm
you gotta do it now. We want to hear the accent. Come on.
Who? Me?
You. Give us the accent.
Oh my God. How long ago? This was like 30 years ago.
Channel it, Jane. Channel.
I can't right now. You have me on the spot. You have me on the spot, and I just blanked. This is what happens when I'm on the spot. Give me a microphone to shove in somebody's face. I'm good, but
I lived in Austin for a year, and I called my parents, one time, and I used y'all 60 times in a sentence. Uh-huh. And my dad goes, "What the fuck are they doing to you down there?"
There's nothing wrong with y'all.
Yeah,
y'all.
I grew up in Texas. That is a perfectly acceptable word.
Well, it just happens naturally, though. That's what I'm saying.
It does. It does. It's used so commonly.
Creeps up on you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and if I'm with some of my husband's brothers who are down there, and one of them has picked up the accent like that, all of a sudden it starts to creep in when I'm around him. It's just like my daughter does it too. It's just emulating.
I bet he talks differently in Puerto Rico than he does here, right?
Yeah. No, dude. The thing is that I when I speak English, I have my English speaking voice, and my Spanish speaking voice is different.
Yeah.
In every sense, it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde, and it's like flipping back and forth. And my tone in English. Normally, when I'm talking in English, odds are I have to be client facing, so I have to be chill and calm and nice, or I'm talking about books, which I enjoy and makes me happy. So you're gonna see this chill tone. When I talk Spanish, first off, I speak even faster, and second off, much faster. And people go like, "What the hell did you just say?" And I'm like, "Oh." And at one point I was like, "Yeah, I speak Spanish normal." And then I had an encounter with a Spaniard that was like, "What did you just say? What dialect did you use?" Because I didn't understand one word. And I'm like, "Ah, crap." So
I've listened to JD do interviews in both Spanish and English. Like he's swapping back and forth. And it's so funny because his Spanish will be going like super fast, and then he'll slow down to like use one or two English words or maybe even a whole sentence, and then he goes right back up again. It's like the speed is like this as he's talking. It's a lot of fun.
We need to hear this in action.
I was just gonna say real quickly when I've heard these same interviews, and something that's interesting that he does when he's speaking Spanish is he pauses to look for the word, and he continues to speak in Spanish over top of the pause. So it's like he's looking for a word, but then he keeps talking. And it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And the Spanish speaking went faster and was like right over. It was just a little speed bump.
So JD, when you're thinking, do you think in Spanish or do you think in English?
When I speak in English, I think in English, and when I speak in Spanish, I think in Spanish. And it depends on whether I'm tired or not, or what I'm thinking about. It's either English or Spanish.
Yeah, that's what
a bilingual brain too.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law to be speaks 3 languages: Portuguese, Spanish, and English. And and she speaks Portuguese fluently because her mother speaks it. And she said when she goes from one to the other, she has to take a pause because her brain has to shift from one language to another.
It's like shifting a car.
My brother speaks 6 languages, and he will just transition from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I have both engines running at the same time.
There is zero pausing. Like, it doesn't matter. He will go from Spanish to English to Russian to German to Hebrew.
Oh, wow.
And then he's holding a coffee cup, and when he hands it back, it's warm.
Yes.
So,
yeah, he's freaking amazing.
Yes.
So and another part of evolving is that thanks to circumstances, I've written more in Spanish, and I am writing more in Spanish, which is weird because I'm from Puerto Rico, and people go like, "So, why are most of your books in English?" And I'm like, "That's just the way it happened."
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I think Rebekah was still needing to answer the question too about evolving.
She hadn't started.
Have I evolved? Well. Yeah. Let's see. As you guys know, when I got started, I was only writing romance, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm just gonna write this. Right. And it was nice, simple stories. Simple. I knew exactly how they were going to start and end. It's always the middle where the fun is, because romance novel always ends the same way.
Mm-hmm. Happily ever after. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has to. And then I was like, but, I want to leave this one like ambiguous. Well, that's not a romance novel anymore. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I started hanging out with, Lillian Oak, Diana Robertson. And, so evolved since then. I have an entire series of urban fantasy now. I'm about to start a second series. I've written a horror book, and I'm working on a sci-fi. Oh, and I actually, even when I was writing romance, that was actually the start of it. I wrote a romance that is actually a thriller. So it's a thriller romance, and once I wrote that, it was like this is it. This is where I wanted to go. That was my turning point.
Mm-hmm.
And I need some different kind of action mixed in.
Yeah.
Now I remember,
that was my turning point.
There was a bet on whether or not you could figure something out in that book.
Oh, that's right.
I have not opened it since I read like the first 2 pages.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could get an update on that.
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet.
Update. He's read the copyright information.
Yeah.
All right.
I've read the forward.
He knows he did that.
He read the blurb.
Was there any surprise in the copyright?
Yeah, actually there is. No, there's not.
Spoiler alert.
Nope, not now. I'm all like freaking out. I was like, what did I screw up?
I will say though, one of the things I noticed is how cool this type is. This is a really cool type. I know people can't see it, but
can we try and make it bigger?
Can people see that?
What
Yeah.
font is
Large
that?
print.
Yeah.
Was that intentional? The large print?
Is she frozen again?
That's how intentional it was. It froze.
Did I just? I think I did that intention.
There's that damn storm again.
Yep, the storm is rolling through. And the thunder
What?
rolls.
Like, perfectly.
It's like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah.
If Charlie Brown's teacher was a transformer, that's what it would sound like. Or a Dalek. Or a Dalek. If a Dalek retired from Doctor Who and ended up being a parent on the Peanuts.
We lost her. She'll be back. She'll be back. Do we have time for another question?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
5 minutes.
No,
What?
another question for our guests.
Yes. Or from our guests.
Or from our guests. There we go.
Yeah.
Any of you guys
Well,
have
we
any
didn't hear
fun-
your answer, Katie, how you evolved.
I told you I devolved. I've come.
I was a bad influence.
Although I will say I used to kill a lot more characters in my first series, and I
Have you
learned.
softened?
Well, not that I've softened, but if I'm gonna kill someone, it's gonna make a serious impact. So I don't just arbitrarily kill anymore. I make it really hurt.
Yes.
And they don't come back.
Yes.
But other than that, no, I we're all on a journey. We're all still learning new things. I never boxed myself into one genre, so I'm always going to the next story that I would want to read, because that was how I initially approached writing. Is you write what you would want to read.
Right.
I always tell people that I'll know the day that I die. It's the day that I stop growing or learning. When I feel like I've known everything, and then I'm gonna go. I'll kill over right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning. I mean, it's learning continually and getting better and finding new ways of saying the same old thing. That's our job.
I've seen some people be like so cocky, like, yeah, I got shit figured out, and I'm like, oh really? Wow, life hasn't hit you yet, but don't worry, it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Life is different from writing.
No, because usually it's the ones that are cocky. They will eventually get theirs, whether that be in reviews or no sales or whatever it is. They eventually get their lesson and come back a little more humble and ready to work the next time.
Or they don't understand why it happened, which is the other opposite extreme. But
that's true. But the real writers, the ones who we have to write, it's in our blood. We'll get knocked down. We'll hurt. Lick our wounds, we'll come back.
But I get up again.
Yes. Pretty much. And that, what was it? The whiskey drink, the vodka drink. What was the whole list there? We drink it all too.
Yes.
The banana drink.
A banana daiquiri.
nice.
A banana daiquiri. There you go.
All
I've
right.
actually never had a banana daiquiri. That's amazing.
Oh God, they're
Have
so
you really
good.
never had one?
I've had banana shakes and banana smoothies and stuff like that, but I've never had a banana daiquiri.
Oh, well, there you
Put some
go.
rum in that baby.
You have
There
an
you
assignment
go.
now.
When I come see you in October, we'll have banana daiquiris and we'll take Instagram pictures of it.
I was looking at flights last night. There's a possibility I can make that happen too.
Awesome.
There's
Awesome.
definitely a
Where's that?
possibility. I may end up spending the whole day at the airport.
Thanks for ruining the surprise right now, too, Katie. Thanks a lot.
You didn't say nothing about a surprise.
Well, you're right. I didn't, but I just thought it would be cool to
I got all
surprise you.
excited, and here I am looking up flights, and he's yelling at me. Jeez.
They've been hanging out with Katie too long. Starting to yell at the author.
Well, yesterday you and I were yelling in the
Next,
chat.
he's going to be sending you memes.
What?
And how quickly did we respond? So obviously, you know how to get us to respond now.
Wait. Who's mean? Who's mean?
Oh, it's got to be me. I'm always mean. Damn it, Joe. That's Rebecca's favorite saying.
Nobody's answering now.
No,
No one here for me is mean, and no one here has been mean to me, and I don't think I've been mean to anyone here either. So
it's not you. You're not the mean one.
Okay,
Especially
final
when-
question.
Especially when you
question.
soothe me at night with your Latin tongue. It's very.
Whoa, what are you doing with your tongue? Hold on. This just got interesting.
Yes.
and that's our show, everybody.
To
Good night.
continue,
we started with
Katie has
bananas,
a final,
and we end
Katie
with
has a
tongue.
final
I think
question.
we have to flip the final question. It's the
What's the final question, Katie?
All
Katie.
right, final question.
Kato, I like
lightning
that.
round.
Katie.
Have you gotten more critical of other authors' work in your years of experience?
Um,
I'm a publisher. Of course, I have.
Just
Actually, I think I've gotten more. Not in tune or laxed, but I've gotten more accepting of things because of the manner in which I know people have struggled to make things happen, and the way that they do things. So I've gotten more like if I see a really bad movie, I'm not as cruel to it as I once was because I'm trying to find the good in it before I say anything bad about it. So, and that's the same with a book. I think because I know how hard it is to do what we do, I think, and how people have struggled and how a lot of people have given a lot more than just time and sweat and equity to it. There's something to be said for that I really appreciate now that I didn't probably going into doing Go Indie Now and everything that I've done, artistically. I think it's really important that, to recognize that and not be so critical of, I mean, look, shit is shit, right? You can't put lipstick on a pig, but
or
maybe the shade of
Don't
lipstick
shame
is
me.
kind of cute on the pig and you can mention that, right? So,
So Joe is nice and cuddly unless your work is shit.
yeah.
well, I'm with Rebecca. I'm a publisher, so I'm mega critical.
And if I was a publisher, I'd probably have the same mentality too, because you have to be critical because it's your brand, it's your thing.
Yeah.
You're putting your reputation on the line just as much as the author is. So.
And as an editor of the e-zine, you're looking at short stories, and if it doesn't grab you at first, you have to pass, but you do have to give decent feedback most of the time. If it's just crap, unfortunately it's a stock letter. but yeah, I found that I don't have time for shit.
All right. Final word, JD.
With work, I'm always critical, but I always try to be constructive. And shit is shit. If something doesn't work, it doesn't work. What I'm more critical of is the behavior of authors, because since I've come in contact with so many people and I have so many people offer support, like all of you guys and all of the friends that we share and all the nice people, when someone really screws up with me or just screws up in general or does something that you go like, what's the need for that? Or why so high and mighty? Or people that publicly lash out at other people. It's like, dude, tone it down. And this is like a work email. A lot of what we post is like a work email. Take a step back, breathe in, breathe out, look at it again. If you're cool with what you're going to say and what can happen, post it. If not, delete it.
Right.
And again, I've seen some people that the whole, do you want to exchange 5-star reviews? I really have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
The people who talk down to other authors because it's either their first book, they're self-published, they write in romance, they write in horror or whatever bullshit reason. It's like there's good writers everywhere. So drop your
Pretentiousness.
Yeah.
and don't be an asshole, and let you do you, and let other people do what makes them happy. There's some people that are always conflictive and looking to piss people off, and it's like, and I take my distance. It's like, bye. You can like my stuff all you want. I'm not gonna like your stuff because whatever. So in terms of that, that's how I've evolved in my consideration of other people. In their work, I'm always gonna bust your balls if you have a typo. Typos happen, stuff like that. But one thing is a typo, another thing is like really messing up. And when someone really messes up, it's like, why did you publish this? And my only 1-star review, I basically recommended for the person to unpublish the book, do the translation again, because I actually had to ask them, was this a Spanish book and you translated it to English? And it was like, yes, but it was a professor. And I'm like, I don't care if it was the Pope. I don't care if it was Mr. Oxford. It's wrong. And being someone who's bilingual, and I have to go through this, and seeing someone mess up that bad, and for me to struggle, it was 159 pages, and I took a year and a half, and in between chapters, I read 40 books.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished it because it was like a war of attrition. It's like, dude, no, shit is shit.
Right.
Fair enough.
What about you, Katie?
Because I've transitioned more into editing for the day job. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've become very critical, but I do keep in mind that, there is a person on the other end that is going to read the notes that I give them. And I try and be funny when I can. I try and diffuse with memes when I can. When I'm about to say something, I usually try and throw a joke in.
With memes.
I also tend to put out suggestions, not just criticisms. So if I have a reason for calling something out, I usually go, here are some options of what you could have done there.
Yeah.
So I try to be as helpful as I can with the criticism, but ultimately it's up to the author at the end of the day, whether or not, they're going to look at my notes and go, fuck her, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Or if they want to, work with them.
Right. Cool.
So
all right.
hearing on to more quickly understanding from
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, sweetie, your internet sucks.
Again. We really want to hear you.
I know you do.
You're going to do like a bad lip reading for her.
Nice.
You want to read these lips?
If I could see them.
Yes.
All right. Well, I
Katie,
believe
do
that
you
is it for
realize
us.
how badly you've set yourself up.
And now she speaks.
Yes.
It always happens.
Yeah, I've decided StreamYard is actually just censoring me. Every time I go wah, 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 that is the censor catching me.
And
now we heard you perfectly.
Right. And on that note, Katie, I'm going to
I
let
had
you
good
do the
visuals
last one.
too until I made some lewd gestures there.
Speaking of lewd gestures, is also our guest, Mistress Rebekah Dirty Jonesy. You will be entertained. Definitely check out her books and check her out on Facebook for her weekly hangouts on Wednesday, correct?
Yep.
Yes, Wednesdays.
All right. Wednesday it is. And one of these days, I'm actually going to be able to make it in time.
Not
Facebook
Wednesday,
literally,
it's hump day.
It lets me know between an hour and 3 hours after the fact that you've gone live. And I've timed it some days. I'm like, what? No.
That happens to me too.
Awesome.
Like all of the people I watch on Facebook, yeah, you get the notification 3 to 4 hours after they go live, or immediately after they stop, and you can't watch anything until it finishes rendering. It's been doing that to everyone. So
That's
Yeah.
that's a crappy thing about Facebook with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. But until then, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. It has been a wonderful show. I love having you guys visit with us. We will definitely do this again. More bananas next time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for all of our viewers, we will be back next week. Have a great week, guys.
Not
See
next
you
week,
then.
right? Next week's the 4th.
Oh, no. 4th
Oh.
of July, we're not. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. 4th of July, we're not. Week after next.
Yes.
What happens when we put her in charge? She even knows the calendar now.
There you go.
Bye, guys.
Bye.